Hello, everyone. Welcome to As You Wish Publishing Podcast. This is episode 6, and I'm excited to be here with Todd as we are kind of helping people know more and more about publishing and our services and what it is to really take some big steps moving into getting your book out into the world. Todd, tell me about you and what's going on with our conversation today.
Happy to be here, Kyra. Thank you so much. Today, we're going to be talking about the 3 decisions that make publishing move faster and the one that slows everything down.
Oh, man, that sounds good to me.
So this is really a good post. We're going to be talking about a lot of publishing delays don't come from writing quality or design timelines. Again, this is AYW. We're talking about professional self-publishing. Okay, where you are self-publishing your book and you're using a professional self-publishing house to do it. So it's a professionally produced book that you own the rights to. All right. That being said, most publishing delays don't come from writing quality, design timelines, or publishing logistics. They happen a lot earlier before publishing even begins. Authors often need time to orient. They might be finishing their manuscript or reviewing like publishing requirements or deciding what it means for their book to be ready. Okay. So if you're the kind of person who's trying to decide where readiness lies between finishing writing and publishing, this is a great episode to listen to. All right. So, and it's very normal to try to decide when your book is ready for publishing. Many professional self-publishing processes allow space for that preparation, like we do, because publishing works best when authors are not rushed into the decisions and they're still clarifying them. Okay. Publishing moves most smoothly when a few decisions are mostly settled. When decisions are staying open for too long, like that's when momentum slows. Not because publishing is complicated, but because the writing phase is not fully closed yet. So this post looks at those decisions that help publishing move forward clean and predictable, and the one thing that slows everything down. So decision number 1, Kyra.
Yes.
Deciding to bring a nearly finished manuscript into publishing. Publishing works best when the writing phase is largely complete. And that doesn't mean a manuscript has to be perfect when an author decides to publish. It just means that many self-publishing processes allow time between purchase and submission so authors can review guidelines, make adjustments, prepare their files. So what matters is that the manuscript already exists as a book in draft form. Decision number 2, I'm going to skip ahead. Is knowing what ready means for you. Okay. Publishing moves faster when authors have a personal definition of what ready means. Ready doesn't mean flawless. It doesn't mean every sentence has to be optimized or every doubt resolved. It means the author has decided the manuscript is complete enough to submit and move forward with publishing. A lot of authors wait for that certainty and it never fully arrives. Others decide that the manuscript is ready to exist as a book, even if it could be revised or expanded someday. Those are the authors that tend to publish their books. Professional self-publishing works best when authors decide that readiness is a decision. It's not a finish line. Having clarity about that decision before submission helps prevent unnecessary delays and second guessing during transition from writing to publishing. So this doesn't require rushing. It simply requires deciding when the writing phase is complete enough to close.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I mean, the whole thing, you said the 3 things there?
I said the first 2.
The first 2. Gotcha. I don't really have any points to make on that.
Okay.
Yeah. I might later.
Decision 3, choosing a publishing path intentionally. Publishing moves smooth when authors choose a publishing path intentionally and understands what it includes and what it does not include. So that choice allows the publishing process to do its work without being interrupted by uncertainty. So that's why you would want to listen to those first podcasts we did, so you can kind of self-select what category of publishing that you really want to be in structurally. So,
I mean, I can speak to
Please.
now that everything. So ultimately understanding when you're ready just to make your decision as to what kind of publishing or what kind of process you want to use, but having a really clear outline, and maybe even your manuscript completed is where you want to be, I think, before you make the decision what type of publishing you want to use. Also, to knowing that those different routes can take a tremendous amount of time. Like traditional publishing is obviously way long time. But when you're
Mm.
looking at, for us, because that's the only thing that we will want to talk about probably going from here forward,
Yeah.
um, is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be the end all be all. In fact, when you do an application with us, you essentially are going to send us a few of the first pages of your manuscript, just so we can discern fit, if to make sure that it's the right thing, that we are the right person and publishing services that you want to be using. And then otherwise, sometimes we point you in a different direction, or we offer you an idea of something else you could do. But ultimately, we know pretty quickly. And so you don't have to have it, like you said, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Right. It does not have to be perfect. Really, really fast. The decisions that make publishing move faster is decision number one, deciding to bring a finished or nearly finished manuscript into publishing. Decision number two, knowing what ready means for you, right? You can't always work, sometimes working the material over and over isn't necessarily going to
Make it better.
make it better. You just have to let it go and just decide to publish.
That's right.
And number three, choosing a publishing path intentionally.
Yeah.
Right. I think I mentioned that already.
Yeah, I want to talk about that the other thing there is like reworking the content. So Todd and I were out at a restaurant, and really nice guy. The owner came by our table. He was really sweet. So kind of a towny place, and he said, I said, he said, what do you do, and all this, and I said, well, we are self-publishing services, done for you publishing. And he was like, oh wow, let me show you this book that I got, from a friend, and it goes along with his restaurant. He loves it, and he was telling me all about it. And then he was talking about his daughter, who has a book inside her, and how she just keeps reworking the material over and over again, and it's never getting done. And then he says, and then I have other people that are like, every single time I think about publishing this book, there's some kind of new information out, so we've got to keep reinventing the wheel. And those kinds of things are like, not just analysis paralysis, which can certainly happen, but it's also like just failure to launch, in a way, because of fear that what you say isn't going to be
overturned.
Yeah, it's gonna be something that's going to get overturned really quickly.
What's the word? It's an unfortunate combination of maybe having a perfectionistic nature and writing about an industry that is constantly evolving. Yeah. You're never going to get a book out the door. The book is always going to be outdated. It's like driving a car off the lot new. It depreciates immediately. There's going to be new information, especially if it's medical, which I think this was the case. Mm-hmm. Within a month or two, there's going to be new information. So there is going to be a timeliness standard. And that's just the kind of thing that to be mindful of, is just to know that your book is going to be a snapshot in time, depending on the type of topic that you're talking about, especially if it has to do with technology or anything like that,
Right.
If it's more, say, principle based, for example, like the laws of leadership or something, those are a little bit more timeless,
Yeah.
They're not depending on a login changing, you know what I mean? Which could happen next week. You got to do something else to log into your account somewhere.
Right. I think it's so key that you do it anyway, or that you position it in a different way. Right. So if, let's say, you're using your book as an asset for your business, for your coaching, for your industry type of thing, is that you don't speak about the things that are moving quickly. You speak to the things that are core fundamental principles within your business and your company that help you to know that these are stable things. Even the tech industry has some stable elements to them.
Mhm.
And so you find out the things that are not quite as quickly changeable, and then you might put those or add those into your book. And maybe you have a trends section that says in 2026, this is what we foresee in the future, or even over the next 10 years, this is what's likely to happen. And it is okay, by the way, if not just the book, it might be outdated, that's okay, because there's always wisdom in everything that we put out there. But more so that we say, what is it that we're going to want to have as the fundamental pieces of what we offer as value statements, our unique value proposition that would be in that kind of asset type book.
Yeah.
So understanding yourself, understanding what you want to offer to people, and understanding those wisdom principles can be really helpful if you want longevity with your book to be there available forever.
Well stated, Kyra. And finally, the one decision that slows everything down, right? Now, remember, the title of this talk was the 3 decisions that make publishing move faster, which we've already covered, and the one that slows everything down. And if you're still here listening, you're going to benefit from this one. It's pretty good. I'm going to tell you. Here we go. The decision that slows publishing down the most, drum roll,
Right, drum roll, please,
is using publishing to figure out what the book should be. So publishing assumes that the book is already exists.
Yeah.
Its role is to prepare and release a manuscript that is ready to be published, or mostly ready with a few tweaks, that kind of thing. When authors are still deciding like what the book is about, what it's for, or how it should be shaped, that work belongs earlier in the writing process. I can't underscore this enough. That's when you would be probably working with other people other than a publisher.
Yeah, like writing coaches,
like developmental editors, things like that. This is absolutely not a judgment about the author or the manuscript. It's simply a matter of timing. Writing is where exploration and discovery and refinement happen. Publishing is where execution happens, right? When those stages overlap, publishing slows down significantly. When they are clearly separated, publishing tends to move forward cleanly. So know the difference and separate them, because when you're getting into a contract with a publisher of any kind, you are no longer developing your book. You have moved from writer to steward, right? You're making decisions about your book. The content's done.
Yeah.
You're making decisions about how it appears in print. And that's what the publishing process is.
Yeah. And you really don't want to reach out to publishers until you already know, because it will waste their time.
A lot of them won't even respond.
They won't respond. I have an idea about a book. Nope. Then they're going to go, okay, cool, great.
Right. Yeah.
We'll see you in 6 months when you actually have it at least mostly done, and then we can move forward. But the other thing too is that people do not understand the role of publisher in the whole industry system.
Right.
They think publisher is everything, is the marketer, is the sales funnel, is all this stuff, and it's none of those things. Publishers make books.
Right.
That's it. You're ready to upload your book to whatever platform, and that's it. They're not there now. Now, if you're looking at some other type of publishing, like traditional publishing, they're gonna try to figure out fit for the industry in which they support.
Right.
And they're gonna assume the responsibility of your book only if they
can manipulate it for the market they're wanting to serve.
There it is.
That's how traditional and a lot of hybrid works.
Yeah, head over to episode 2 of the podcast and you'll learn all about traditional publishing.
So publishing tends to feel smooth when things are already mostly settled, right? The manuscript's written or it's nearly written. You have a sense of what ready means for you, and you understand that publishing is about execution, not discovery, right? So authors don't need to rush to that point, many professional self-publishing processes allow time between purchase and manuscript submission, just like we do, so authors can prepare thoughtfully and follow clear guidelines. That time exists to support readiness, not to replace the work of writing the book. We are extremely clear, extremely structured, and extremely thorough. We have left no stones unturned because we've thought of everything that the author is going to think of throughout the process that they're not thinking of now because they haven't arrived there yet in the publishing process. But I promise you, we have thought of those things and we know how to steward authors through that process. And it works best when authors know how to steward their book instead of trying to write it still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we can't publish a book that's still trying to be written, obviously.
Yep.
And that's why we ask authors to show up with a nearly completed or completed manuscript ready to go. Not a requirement, but you know, we can't publish it until it's done, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we don't make it done. You
No,
make it done.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
Yes. The author or the business owner that's wanting to create their book may not understand their full role in how this all comes together too.
Right.
So this podcast is all about a lot of education on industry stuff, but yeah, just get it done, you know, and then go and just know now that even if you're in the process of writing your book right now, there's tons of information that we've supplied on the previous episodes that will help you to truly hone in on what it is that you want your book to be and the ways in which you want to publish it. But we're not talking about, you know, marketing funnels and,
No.
social media stuff,
right?
You know, all that stuff that you may even want to do some of that prior to publishing your book to start getting a following,
right.
So that once your book is ready, people are like, oh yeah, this is our gal or guy. And so we definitely want their book when it's out there.
Right. Good. So if your manuscript is finished or nearly finished and you're looking for a clear professional way to publish while keeping full ownership and control, As You Wish Publishing offers a professional self-publishing process designed to take a completed draft through publication in a calm, structured way. We're very good at what we do, and we love authors who are knowing what they're wanting when they speak to us, right? If I were to give you a parting tip, piece of advice, whether you go with us or anybody else, you will show the publisher. Publishers will like you if you show up when you contact them, or book a call or do an application or whatever it is. They will love you. They'll pay attention to you. They'll take you seriously.
There you go.
Let's not go into love.
Yeah.
Love is a strong word. Okay. We're not in it for that. Publishers will take you more seriously.
Yes.
If on your intake form, as it were, you show them that, one, you've got a completed manuscript. And number two, this is the linchpin, they will take you more seriously if they know that your inquiry has to do with their offering, their services, not you're coming in to, let's have an exploratory conversation about this and that. And can you actually tell, now what kinds of publishing methods are there actually? And that publisher would be like, what? You want me to talk to you about, it's like walking onto
other models that aren't ours.
It's like walking onto a Toyota lot. I love Toyotas. So I own one. And then going on there, you're looking at these different trucks and cars, great vehicles. And then you ask the salesperson, what do you think about those H3s, those SUVs, or Oldsmobile? Do you have any of those?
Got any Oldsmobiles?
That ain't my lane, but there's a lot down the street. I can direct you there. That's how a publisher would react if you ask them about traditional publishing and not about their offering.
Or hybrid publishing.
Or hybrid, yeah. Right? If you're a self-publishing house, right? So when you apply, especially to a place like us, I can't speak for everybody. You're applying just for fit. Yeah, we're assuming you've read what we've provided to you. You know that you are interested in publishing with us. You're ready to move forward. You're just checking for fit and trust, and just that everything is on point. But you're not starting a conversation for the first time where you're trying to data gather about the publishing industry. We specifically screen that out. So we want people who are ready to go, and who are taking themselves seriously and ready to take the next step, not dipping their toe into the water. There may be other publishers out there who work with people who are dipping their toes into the water, but I will say that's not just publishing then. That's probably a lot of other services involved too. But at any rate, I digress. That's what we do.
Right. So I love it. We've given you some inside scoop on how to have your publisher think you're pretty stellar. Also, if you're a business owner, this should be an absolute no-brainer, because you want people coming into your business who already has an idea that you're the business they want to be choosing, and so you already get what we're saying here for sure. The other thing that I think that you get is that you take your business seriously. You take what you do as a priority, and it matters to you. And so if you're sharing your expertise, you're going to offer that same understanding of scope that we offer our clients, and the people who work with us. Seriously, and we want you to have that asset, to have that brand out there, so that you're able to just help people understand that you are an expert in your field. So, you know what? I think we're complete with this episode, Todd. And any parting thoughts?
Nope. I think I've said enough. Thank you for listening. Read everything. We've helped you to be more informed about everything. Mm-hmm. And feel free to visit asyouwishpublishing.com and fill out an application and chat with me if you're ready to publish your book.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again on the next one. Take care.